What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? It's your boy Bowie back here again. And you know your boy gotta give some more unsolicited thoughts about the game. But this time, I'm here to talk about the divide between casual players and non-casual players in Mortal Kombat. How this divide has really come to a head for Mortal Kombat 1. So, let me try to set the table for a second. To begin with, Mortal Kombat has always had, probably the largest casual fan base of any fighting game franchise in the world. The only one that comes close to rivaling that is Super Smash Brothers. But Mortal Kombat's more widely well known, all that good stuff, And I love Mortal Kombat because Mortal Kombat is much more accessible. The moves are easier to perform. The game looks more realistic. There's violence, there's blood, all that kind of stuff. So the game is much more appealing to a casual fan. And in many rare cases, or maybe not so rare cases, the gameplay of Mortal Kombat can convert a casual fan into a non-casual fan. And when I say this, I think about myself. I was somebody that knew nothing about frames, optimization, footsies, neutral, none of that stuff. All I knew was that I liked Sub-Zero, and he was my favorite character. That's all I knew, Then Mortal Kombat 9 came along, and now suddenly I realize, wait a minute. I actually want to try to get good at this shit because I'm actually going to play against people online, and I want to win. I want to win. I didn't have any concept of buffs or nerfs or anything like that. I just wanted to make my gameplay as good as it can be with the character that I like the most. And so once I learned about this nebulous concept known as footsies and neutral, my first thought was, hey, let me try to look this up and see what's going on. How do I get better at all of this? And what I did was I watched the people that were better than me. The tournament players. MK Tom Brady, DJT, MIT, Rio, 16-bit, Dizzy, Tyrant, CD Jr., Maxter. I can go on and on and on. You know what I'm saying? I watched all those people and more that I didn't get to name yet, but still. What I tried to do is I tried to optimize my gameplay. I tried to learn. Why? So I could win. And that was my decision. That was my choice. And many other people have also decided to make that decision, but countless more other people, countless more others, I should say, have elected that they're not going to make that decision. They're going to play at whatever level that they're at. They're on here just to have fun and fuck around and, waste some hours and things of that nature. And I respect that. I really, really do. But guess what, motherfuckers? When you decide that you don't want to put in the full effort to try to win, to get better at this game because you want to win, guess what's going to happen? You're not going to win as much as the people that put in more time, more effort. And I get it. It's a daunting task. There's a lot to learn in this game. Up blocking, flawless blocking, punishing gaps, knowing the gaps, frame data, whiff punishing, anti-airing. There's a lot. It's daunting. It seems arduous, tedious even. There's a lot. I mean, if you look at the tutorials and look at all the little lessons that are there, there's a lot of components to this fighting game stuff, you know? Dealing with zoning, dealing with rushdown. You know, everything. I get it. And there are going to be people that say, man, I ain't got time for that. This is a game. And that's fine. Do your thing. Enjoy the game casually. All that. But guess what, motherfuckers? If you decide that you're going to enjoy the game casually, stay in your motherfucking lane. Do not offer your idiotic opinions on character balance or how you think the meta should go, because your opinion is not based on objective fact. It's not based on optimal gameplay. It's not based on anything that's worth a damn. That's like someone who failed biology trying to offer opinions on how effective the COVID vaccine is, or trying to offer unsolicited opinions on gender. Bitch, you don't know shit about science. You're not even good at science, but you want to offer your opinion though. And because you think that your opinion is equal to everybody else, or because everyone has an opinion, you have the right to opine yours, even though you're uninformed. No, you're not informed, casual player. The vast majority of you don't know what the hell you're talking about. All you know is what you feel. All you know is what you've experienced. But what you feel and what you've experienced does not necessarily align with reality. So because you experienced Johnny Cage being strong at doing Johnny Cage things, that doesn't mean that the character needs to be nerfed. Okay? Johnny Cage is supposed to be strong up close. He's supposed to put that pressure on people and lock them down. That's a good character being good at the things that he's good at. But guess what? In order for him to do his game plan, he has to get in. And he has to take risks to get in. Your job is to stop him from doing what he has to do. See, Cage doesn't have the option to do what Sub-Zero's doing right now. He doesn't get to play mid-screen and shut people down and stop them from approaching. No. He must come to you. That is the only way he wins. Everyone that plays this game understands this. He doesn't have a projectile. He doesn't have a whole bunch of long-range buttons like Sindel or Kenshi or Ashura or anything like that. He has to come in. He has to go to you. So if you understand that principle, then that means that you should understand that your job is to keep him away. And maybe you don't want to play that way, and that's fine. But if you don't want to play a particular way, you don't have to. But you got to deal with whatever consequences come as a result of that. If you don't want to zone, don't zone. But when your ass get whooped because you can't stop the wrong kind of opponents from coming in, don't say shit. Don't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to be patronizing when I say these things. You know, I'm just speaking from the perspective of someone who decided to dedicate more of their time to trying to get good. I'm saying that you don't have to do what I did. You don't. But if you don't do what I did, don't expect to get the results that I got. You know what I'm saying? Don't expect to be well matched up with someone like me when I put in work and you don't. And here's the thing. I don't put in as much work as I could. I'm not on the level of these tournament people. Them fools are constantly labbing and constantly playing games and constantly playing ranked and playing against the best players. They put in more work than I do. So how can I expect to take a set off of them if I don't put in the work that they put in? I can't. But some of y'all want a lot for a little bit. And I can't even blame you, because the past two NRS games have given y'all that idea. There's been a lot of mechanics that have offered players a lot for a little bit. 50-50s are, or excessive 50-50s are the main example from MKX, along with the wild jump-ins, along with the crazy armored reversals, along with the lack of anti-airs and terrible backwards movement so that your defensive options were slim to nil. You know. So you could just go ham on people and they couldn't keep you off of them unless they were Sub-Zero. And even then, it didn't work on everybody. You know what I'm saying? But here's the other thing. When you go to MK11, you have these crushing blows that allow you to get 30% off of random ass uppercuts and throws. You didn't even have to earn that combo. You just did something very minimal and got a combo for it. Not to mention, your opponent might have tried to block something you did that was low, but because they pressed down and blocked when they were airborne, now suddenly they dropped out of their combo when they didn't want to. And so you got the up on them. You got the advantage on them without you having to do anything. You didn't even have to earn that advantage. The game accidentally held your hand. Not to mention the wild fatal blows. Oh my goodness. The fatal blows were crazy. You could just throw them shits out. No rhyme, no reason. Just throw them out. Whatever. Not to mention pokes. You could just mash pokes. And then right after you mash a poke, you can throw somebody. And you could just do that and win. You know? Thankfully, there was more neutral in that game. Thankfully, anti-airs were stronger in that game. But I was playing my baby brother the other day. I do a string that's +7 on block, and he's able to mash before I can do my offense. I'm +7. He shouldn't be able to do shit. But he's able to mash, though, because we're playing online. And online allows you to get away with draconian things that do not work in the real game, you know? Ooh, that was nice. But yeah. So anyway, what am I saying? I'm saying that Mortal Kombat 1 does not hold your hand the way that those two games did. And I think some of y'all are alarmed at that. I guess I would be too if I was y'all, but here's the thing too. Also, this game started off like that too. Like as soon as we learned we were getting a cameo system and you had to combo them in with a different input and stuff like that, I already knew this game wasn't going to be friendly to casuals. The one thing I was hoping was that they didn't bring back a goddamn run button, and thankfully they didn't do that. And so now people are going to have to really take time to figure out how to best use their cameos and stuff like that, that requires effort. That requires you to put work in. And as we've established, casual players, for the most part, do not want to put in as much work as non-casuals do. And this is not a value statement. This is not, an assessment of character. It's a statement of objective fact. They're not going to sit there and spend 30, 45 minutes, an hour in training mode practicing different things with their various main characters. But I will, because I want to win. Trying to figure out what's safe and what's unsafe. Trying to learn these various frame data and things of that nature, They're not trying to do that. And that's fine. They don't have to. But you're not going to get my results, though. And so I'm going to use my cameo the best way I know how. And if that means I'm going to annoy the hell out of you, then so be it. And I guess that also brings up another divide, See, we all get annoyed by things. We all get irritated by certain things in fighting games. Some people are irritated by teabags. Other people are irritated by fatalities. Some people are irritated by excessive offense, so crazy rushdown. Some people are irritated by defense, zoning, and stuff like that. A lot of people are irritated by zoning. They call it projectile spamming and stuff like that, So the biggest difference between casuals and non-casuals is that, for the most part, non-casuals can differentiate between what's annoying, what's aggravating, and what's broken. See, with casuals, a lot of them don't know the difference. See, they're annoyed by things like Sub-Zero's Ice Clone. But that doesn't mean the clone is broken and needs to go away. It has counterplay. There are characters that can armor right through. Well, everybody can armor right through the clone. There's your counterplay right there. But many characters don't even need that. They can just use an extended hitbox normal that'll poke right through. Ask Katana. I'm pretty sure Rain can down 3 right through Sub-Zero's Ice Clone. And then now we have cameos that just nullify the clone. Excuse me. There's so many solutions to Ice Clone. So things that are truly broken in a game, there's no solutions for them. There's no counterplay to something that's actually broken. There's no counterplay to that. But moves like the Ice Clone, things like Johnny Cage pressure, things like Cyrax, which again, I never played Cyrax. Things like Baraka doing high damage, like absurdly high damage, not broken. Even Baraka's mix is not broken. His overhead is 29 frames. His low's really good. I like it. That low string that breaks armor and stuff like that. It looks like an overhead. It's good, man. All that stuff is annoying. All that stuff is strong, but none of it was broken. But non-casuals, generally speaking, understand the difference between annoying and broken, whereas the casuals do not. And so, as it pertains to NRS, it's pretty clear that NRS decided to really hedge their bets on the non-casual audience with this game. They gave us a lot of fan service. Very strong anti-airs. way better movement, lots of combo freedom, cameos, you know, truncated fatal blows. Characters have mix, but the mix is not so oppressive because most characters can't combo off of both overhead and mid or low, at least not safely. Ooh, that whiff punish. God damn it. Bruh. Yeah. So, most characters can't safely combo off of both low and overhead. And thank God for that. Thank God. You know? But, listen. What I'll say in a nutshell is this. Non-casual players are the lifeblood of Mortal Kombat. Casuals bring in the big dollars. They bring in the high sales. And of course, casuals are important because every non-casual person, whether they're someone like me that just wants to win or someone that competes in this game for a living or what have you, everybody started off as a casual player. We all start as casuals. That's the beginning stage of everyone that has ever played these games. Everyone. It's just that some people rise above. They decide they're not going to stay stagnant. They're going to grow as players. They're going to learn. They're going to do more of what it takes to win. Many, many more decide not to do that, and that is okay. Right? But if you're a casual player, and there's different levels to casual players, you know what I'm saying? But if you're a casual player, you need to know your role. You need to understand that you do not know everything. You have your experience, but 9 times out of 10, that experience is tempered by either emotion or ignorance. Meaning there was something that your opponent was doing to you that they shouldn't have been able to do had you known better. Or maybe you were doing something you didn't need to be doing that you wouldn't have done if you do better. Right? And maybe you were so frustrated, maybe you were so confuzzled that you just did things that you normally wouldn't do. Maybe your opponent pissed you off and that made your gameplay worse. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to invalidate your experience, but understand that your experience is not gospel. Your experience is no substitute for objective fact, objective reason, and you are not in any way qualified to, you know, duly weigh in on how the game should be balanced. Because you're not there. And again, this is not a value statement. This is not me trying to patronize anybody. Or patronize, however you say it. It's just, it's almost like when men try to speak about women's problems. Men can't talk about women's problems because men aren't women. And that's not an anti-trans thing in any way whatsoever. I'm talking about people that were biologically, I'm talking about cisgender folks here. People that were born male and identify as men. And the same thing for women and females. Born female and identify as women. Men cannot relate to what women go through at all. We don't even understand how their bodies work. We don't know shit. So we're not qualified to speak on women's issues such as abortion, child reproduction, all that type of shit. Even rape, we're not really qualified to talk about. Because men are the ones doing all the raping. Virtually all of it. You know? But All I'm trying to say is, if you're uninformed, understand that you are uninformed. Acknowledge that you are uninformed. And even if you don't acknowledge it aloud, just know in your heart and in your mind, you don't know shit. You don't know enough to speak on this thing. And that's okay. And, you know, judging from the kind of comments that I see, there's definitely a spread of ignorance. Because people were swearing up and down that Serena was the most broken thing in the game. She was #1 cameo, top tier. Turns out, no, she's not. You know, people were saying Lee May is so weak. Turns out that's not true. She's good as a motherfucker. Same thing with Katana. Katana's weak. She's underpowered. I heard someone say that she gets low damage. I said, what? The girl can get over 42 meterless with 1 rep of a cameo. And that's off of her best buttons. She gets damn near 40% off of an advancing mid. Strong projectiles, all this shit. This is not the makings of a bad character. You just don't know how to use that character. You're bad with that character. The character herself is not bad. And it's okay to acknowledge that. It really is. But people don't know the difference. Casual players do not seem to know the difference between the two. And so, for all you casual people out there disgruntled with the state of the game, I'm going to say this. Before you cave in to your feelings, negative feelings or negative opinions, I advise you, let's think about what it is exactly that you don't like about the game. Is it the cameo system? You dislike that it's not one-on-one? I understand that. Trust me, I definitely understand. I have virtually every single Mortal Kombat game that's ever been put out for a console, minus some of the, you know, clone ports and the handheld ports, because they're like really bad. But all the canonical Mortal Kombats, I pretty much have them. I've played them all, and all of them were one-on-one fighters. And so I get it. You wanted this game to follow that same suit. But here's the one thing about Mortal Kombat that's been constant. Change. This game has constantly changed a billion ways. A lot of things stayed the same, but a lot of things changed. A lot of things changed. This game used to not have strings and combos. Then they had dial-in combos and a run button. Then the game went from being an arcade classic to a home console. The game went from being completely animated with 2D sprites of real people to being 3-dimensionally animated. Then it became a 3D franchise altogether with no juggling. Then the juggling was brought back. But then you had death traps on stages that you couldn't turn off. And style branching combos and all that kind of stuff. So each character had 2 martial arts styles and then a weapon style. Then that went away, and then each character had 1 martial arts, 1 weapon, and then air combat. Then we went away from that to an MK versus DC quasi MK9 system. I mean, this game has run the gamut of changes. Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of changes. There's been 2 timeline resets now. You know what I'm saying? Like, bruh. Characters be dying and then coming back to life, and boy. This game has constantly changed a million times in a million different ways. So to me, you should let cameos be yet another change that you gradually come to accept. Because Lord knows in this title, there's going to be more changes. You know, once MK1 runs its course of life and the new Mortal Kombat comes out after that, presumably Mortal Kombat 2, aka MK13, whenever that is, that game's going to be different than this one. And that's okay. That is okay. But think about maybe what else do you not like about the game. Maybe you don't like the fact that it feels unpolished and rushed. Actually, I agree with you there. You're completely correct. The game's definitely unpolished. It's definitely rushed. The online is very hit or miss depending on the platform. On PS5, it's a pretty much a good experience, but on PC, I don't know. But I don't know. The whole PC port needs work. So I agree with you there. I really do. But maybe you don't like the fact that I don't know. What else do people not like? Oh, the high damage combos. Bruh, every Mortal Kombat has high damage combos, especially the ones you're lionizing, save for MK11. That game didn't have high damage combos, but MK9 certainly did, and MKX definitely did. And these are games that everyone swears is way better than this one. Not everyone. A lot of casuals say that those games are better than this. Yet they conveniently forget that MK9 Cyrax existed. Or they forget that MKX Katana existed. You know, like Katana used to kill people. Melina used to kill people. Okay. MK9 Smoke used to kill people with the damage. Are you kidding me? I heard a casual person say that in MK9, combos that did over 35% were, quote, niche and situational. I remember that comment because I was flabbergasted. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Where did you get that information from? MK9 Katana would like a word with you. Kung Lao would like a word with you. Liu Kang would like a word with you. Ermac would like a word with you. Cyrax and Smoke would like words with you. Like, where are you getting that idea? Characters hit hard in MK9, not just with regular damage, but chip damage. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? But this is coming from the perspective of a casual player, because people that know these games and really take the time to learn them and understand what they're doing, nobody that's in that camp would have ever said anything so ridiculous. And it's ridiculous because of how false it is. Not my opinion. It's objective fact. Right now, I can pull up MK9 and do an 81% damage reset with Cyrax. 81 fucking percent. I can decide to side switch or not side switch. And all it costs is 1 bar of meter. 1 bar. That's not very niche. Not niche at all. And Cyrax had several resets like that. Many resets like that. But anyway, I'll say this, casual player that's potentially watching this video. We need you guys. We love you guys. We welcome you guys because, you know, we come from y'all. You know what I'm saying? But my point is, if you want to stay stagnant and you want to just enjoy the game on a casual level and you don't want to have to think too hard and don't want to do nothing, Go ahead and do that. But don't be ruining the game for the rest of us that do. Don't be sitting out here getting bodied by these Cyrax cameos or getting bodied by Johnny Cage, or, you know, don't sit there and get killed by virtually every character under the sun and then turn around and cry for nerfs. No, level up. Figure out how to fight them. And if you ain't going to figure out how to fight them, don't say shit when they body you. That's all the hell I'm saying. That was fraudulent as fuck. See, that was me being casual right there. I didn't lab that. So I deserve to get my ass kicked for doing something that didn't work and thinking that I would get away with it. You know what I'm not doing? Crying about Scorpion. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna cry at all in this game. All I'm gonna do is grind. I'm gonna keep getting better. I'm gonna keep being that person that I was when I picked up MK9 and realized, hey, I want to get good at this shit. I'm gonna keep doing that. And frankly, if you're a casual player, I think that in this game, you're gonna need to do that too. Just my unsolicited thoughts. But anyway, please comment below. Thank you for watching. I'll see you again next time. Peace.